Welcome to video number 4 in our series on getting started fast with Salon Studio CRM. We now come to a very important part of our training, and that's adding customers' contact details to your system. Let's be honest, your customers are the people who determine whether your salon is failing or succeeding. They're the people who at the end of the day pay our rent and pay our salaries. So if we don't add contacts to the system's not going to work for us. Your customer contacts are what I call your gold mine in your backyard. So let's teach you how to mine that gold mine and make a lot of money. So to add a customer to your database, what you're going to do is take your mouse and click on the contact icon right here on the top menu of Salon Studio CRM. This will take you through to your contact page or your database page. Now, before we even add a contact, there's a couple of very important principles I need to share with you. First of all, the more information you have on your customer, the more in control you are of the purchasing relationship. You see, I'm telling you this because most of the spa and salon owners that I've worked with in the past, they don't like collecting customer information. They see it as a schlep and they see it as hard work, so they cut corners, and the average spa and average salon out there has a very inaccurate and very incomplete customer database. Now that's a problem, because your marketing can only be as good as your customer database. So if your customer database is average or mediocre or weak, guess what? Your marketing is going to be average, mediocre and weak, and you're not going to make a lot of money. So let's go and add a contact. And once again, when you add contact, invest the time, invest the energy, and don't cut corners, because you will reap the rewards in the long run. So to add a contact, we're going to click on the add a contact icon on the top menu bar. When you click on the add a contact button, it'll take a few seconds, but a client card will open up in front of you. Now you'll notice that some of the fields on the client card are all in red, and the reason for that is simple. That is the bare minimum information that you have to collect in order to save the client card. You'll notice the save, save and close, and save and new buttons are grayed out. If I click on them, they don't do anything because I haven't filled in those 4 fields. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add an account number or create an account number for our client, and it's really easy to do that. Just click on this little button with the 3 dots and Salon Studio CRM will create a sequentially numbered account for your client. I'm then going to click on the first name field, and I'm going to put in a name of a client. This is for demonstration purposes. So let's say we have a new client by the name of Gabby Mayer. When you put in your client's first name and last name, make sure your spelling is correct, because this name will go out on SMSs. And if you can't spell your customer's name, your customer is going to think to herself, well, these people can't spell. Can they do a facial? Can they do a wax? Can they do a set of nails? So make sure you spell correctly, and don't put the spelling all in capital letters, because then people think you're shouting at them. The next thing we're going to do is adding the client's mobile. Now, if I hover the mouse button above this field, it will say no spaces. So this is just a reminder, when you do add in a customer's name, or I should say when you add in a customer's mobile number, make sure there's no dashes, no spaces, no +27s, just the plain ordinary cell phone number. Next, we're going to go to the date that says client since. Now, this is an extremely important date. It's very important for you to know when a client started doing business with you, and a lot of this will be explained to you during your full day of CRM training. But for now, we're just going to show you how to put in the date. Whenever you see a drop down arrow, make sure that you click on the arrow, don't type in the date. Let's say for this instance that Gabby Mayer became a customer with our spa or our salon on the 23rd of March 2011. I'm going to click on the 23rd. What then happens is Salon Studio takes this lady's name and contact details and adds her to this folder over here on the left called the New Clients folder. This means at any point in time I can click on the button, count how many new customers I brought into my business, but not only that, I can put together an SMS promotion and send it to those new clients. These are all people who have been to me once. If I get them to come back a second time, guess what? They're probably going to be my loyal clients for the next 12 to 36 months. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to collect our client's birthday and anniversary. Now, these are 2 very important dates, because if you know when a client's birthday is, or if you know when her anniversary is, Salon Studio will help you target market to those people on those days. So once again, we're going to click on the drop down and the calendar will appear. For this example, let's imagine that Gabby Mayer's birthday is in 1980. We're going to go by clicking on this little left arrow. We're going to click all the way back to 1980. Now, it's extremely important to know the year in which your client was born, because Salon Studio will profile people according to their age. Now, I'm sure you already realize that if you're marketing to a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 60-year-old, your marketing message is going to be different. So if you know the year in which your client was born, you can put the right message in the right person's hand at the right time. Let's pretend that Gabby was born on the 1st of May in 1980. And let's pretend that her wedding anniversary happens to also be today on the 23rd of March. Now we're going to come to the client's address. It's extremely important to know where your clients live, where they work, and where they are driving from. So to add an address, click on the drop-down menu once again. In this case, we'll choose Gabby's home address. For this example, I'm just going to make up an address and say that this client lives in 123 Main Street. Let's call it in Bryanston, and we'll say Bryanston is a suburb of Johannesburg, and we'll put in the client's postal code. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to collect our customer's occupation, because if we know what a customer does for a living, we know how much money to charge her. So let's say that this lady happens to be a financial director. The next thing we're going to find out is this client on Twitter or on Facebook? If she's on Twitter or on Facebook, we're going to tick the relevant box. Now, if you know that a large percentage of your clients are on Facebook, you're going to start doing Facebook marketing, and Salon Studio will teach you how. Because Facebook marketing is free, and if a large percentage of your clients are there, go there and put your message in front of them. Now I'm going to take my mouse and I'm going to go to the additional contact details tab on the Salon Studio client card. The next thing I'm going to add in is a contact phone number, whether it's her home number or her work number. I'm going to put in her number, and I'm just going to make up a number for now. Then I'm going to click down to the next tab, and I'm going to collect my client's fax number. Let's say for this instance, it's all 5s and the last digit is a 6. I'm also going to collect this client's email address, because we will be tying Salon Studio up to email marketing and to bulk email. So let's pretend that it's gabby@gmail.com. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to find out what is our contact's gender. Gabby happens to be a female. Very important to know. I know it's obvious and it's basic, but this is very important for marketing. Ethnic orientation, let's say Gabby happens to be a white lady. She happens to be English, so I'm not going to change the drop-down box. And she also happens to be married. Now, in the top right-hand corner, you'll see something called a contact rating. This is extremely important. If you have customers who are always coming late, cancel, or who make appointments and don't show, Salon Studio will automatically lower their score from 10 out of 10. When we add a client on, we assume that they're going to be good clients, loyal, regular, they're going to buy lots of products and services. However, if clients prove to be problem customers by not arriving, by coming late and making appointments and not showing, well then guess what? Just by using the scheduler, Salon Studio will lower their score, and if you follow my mouse button, it will take them and put their name into the challenging client folder when their rating gets to 5 out of 10. So the good news is, at the click of a button, you can find out who are all your problem clients, and you can fix the problem or get rid of them. The next thing we're going to add is part of our censoring. Our censoring is a spam filter to make sure that clients don't get irritated by SMSs. So if a customer does not want, maybe she's sensitive about her age, maybe she doesn't want to receive a birthday SMS, tick the box and Salon Studio will not allow you to send a birthday SMS to that client. But for most of your clients, you're going to leave that blank unless they ask you to not send them an SMS. Now we're going to something extremely important. You'll see there's a field here called Introduced By. One of the most important questions you could ever ask a customer as she walks into your salon is, how did you hear about me? So if I click on this drop down arrow, these could be all of your marketing campaigns. You can add in any other marketing campaigns that you're doing, but let's imagine that Gabby Mayer heard about us as a result of our website. This helps you focus on what marketing's working, and it prevents you from wasting money on marketing campaigns that do not generate clients or profit. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie Gabby Mayer up to a preferred therapist. Let's in this instance say our preferred therapist is Lazan. And then one of the last things we're going to do is we're going to take a look at all the services that Gabby might have bought. Let's imagine that when she comes into our salon, she buys a full set of gel. Well, if you tick the box, Salon Studio will remember what she buys. You can do it manually here on your list of subscribed services, or when you use the scheduler, Salon Studio will always remember what your customers bought. And so you can target market to people according to their purchase preference or to their purchase history. Lastly, you can also take a photo of your client and if I click on the contact photo, you can take a photo and add it in. All you do is right click in this big white space and say load. The system will immediately take you to your My Pictures page in Windows. Select your client's photo by double clicking on it, and there it is. All you need to do now to save your client card is click on the Save and Close button, and there we go. Now if I go to my main database, I can highlight any name, and if I tick in Gaby, well, there she is. You can see there's her name. Once I